Very few people reach 6% body fat, but I know it is something that many people want to achieve. The abs, the jawline, it looks great. When I was young, I watched some movie from Bruce Lee, Arnold. They look handsome, shredded and powerful. And I really want to have this kind of body. I want to see how far I could push my body. So I work really hard and make it to 6% body fat. Today I'm going to share my journey, how it all started, what I did to get a 6% body fat and what it felt like along the way. I will also explain why, even though it looked amazing, I chose not to stay at 6% body fat. If you are new here, I'm Steven, a nutritionist from HKU and a current physio student. My goal of this video is to give you the full picture to help you get 6% body fat and also help you to think of this question: is 6% body fat really worth it? Here's my story. I didn't reach 6% body fat for no reason. I did it for my bodybuilding competition. But you may be wondering, why did I decide to compete in bodybuilding? Actually, it all started by accident. Before 2019, my life was all about handball. I played for 10 years, high school team, college team and Hong Kong team. I loved the excitement of competition, the feeling of winning. Handball wasn't just a sport for me, it was my passion. I thought I would play handball for as long as I could, but in 2019, everything changed. There was a social movement in Hong Kong and all the competition and training got cancelled for almost a year. And just like that, I stopped playing handball. It was the longest break I've ever taken from handball, and in 2020, things started to get back to normal. Competition and training were coming back, and I thought, maybe it's time to get back to handball. Then COVID hit. Suddenly everything was shut down again, no more games, no more practice, and handball was gone, just like that, and I felt lost because handball was kind of an identity for me and it gave a lot of confidence. Without that, I didn't know what to do with myself, and I was really bored during COVID. I was stuck at home feeling like I had no purpose. I needed something to do and I need a challenge. That's when I started going to the park, doing push-ups, pull-ups and other bodyweight exercises. It felt great because it gave me a reason to move and sweat, a reason to get outside. It was a break from being stuck at home all day. And then the more I worked out, the more I wanted to improve my physique. I started getting serious about it. I want to see how far I could push my body. Then, as the situation got better, gym reopened, I went back to the gym, but something had changed. My focus started shifting from handball to build muscle. I became obsessed with getting stronger, looking bigger, and seeing how much I could transform my body. Then in September 2021, I was scrolling through Instagram and saw something that really caught my eyes: the first natural bodybuilding competition in Hong Kong. I was inspired and I thought, I want to do that. I want to stand on the stage. Honestly, it was one of the bravest decisions I've ever made because no one expected it from me. I was always the quiet one. I was the kid who was nervous when talking in front of the class. I hated being in the spotlight. I used to think bodybuilding was a show-off thing, maybe even a little bit weird. So I was nervous. I worried about what people would think. I wonder if they would laugh or judge me for doing something so different. But I knew I needed a new goal, something to push me forward. So I made the decision. I decided to compete. I decided to get as lean as possible. And that's how my journey to 6% body fat began. Once I made the decision to compete, I was all in. I knew it wouldn't be easy, but I was ready to do whatever it took. The first thing I did was hire a coach, because I need a plan, no guessing, no shortcuts. I want the best result. Shout out to Zach from Taiwan. He is an amazing and friendly coach. My coach asked me to track every calories. I count everything: breakfast, lunch, dinner, and even some sauces. I thought if I wanted to reach the lowest body fat possible, I had to be in control of everything I ate. At first, to be honest, it was annoying, but soon it became a habit. I got used to weighing my food, reading labels, and planning my meals. It gave me a sense of control. At that time, I started training 5 to 6 days a week and make sure to walk 10,000 steps every single day. Even on rest day, no exceptions. Sometimes I will walk up and downstairs in my apartment just to hit my step goals. I would take the long way home or walk to the farthest grocery store. It became part of my routine. I trained really hard, lifting weight, focusing on form and pushing myself every session. I didn't just want to get lean, I want to look strong on stage too. And also there was a posing session. I spent hours in front of the mirror to learn some posing. To be honest, it was so tired. So you can see, even though I worked really hard, it still took me 5 to 6 months to get down to that body fat, like counting calories every day and lifting 5 to 6 days a week. So if you want to reach 6% body fat, it is simple but not easy. You have to be in calorie deficit for a long time, longer than you expected, and you will face some physical and mental challenges along the way. And that's when things got really tough. The physical training was tough, but the mental challenges were even harder. I didn't expect this when I first started. I was hungry all the time. Even after eating, I never felt full. I had to learn how to live with hunger. I was angry all the time. Even small things would trigger me. I was on edge and easily irritated. I became obsessed with tracking everything, every gram of food, every steps, every workout. It took a lot of focus and energy. I was so focused on the goal that I became selfish. I couldn't fully enjoy time with my family because I was always thinking about the diet and workouts. And also I couldn't eat like everyone else. I had to say no to dessert, snack and drinks. It felt lonely sometimes. But I kept reminding myself why I started. I wanted to prove to myself what I was capable of. That thought kept me going. There were days when I felt exhausted, days when I doubted myself, but I didn't allow for myself to quit. And after 6 months of hard work, I did it. I reached my goal. I got to 6% body fat. I stepped on the stage and gave it my best. It was one of the proudest moments of my life because I knew how much I had suffered to get there. But after the competition, something unexpected happened. I started binge eating. I was tired of all the restrictions. I couldn't stop myself from eating. If you are struggling with binge eating, you are not alone. It's more common than you think, especially after extreme dieting. I share more about my experience in another video, so feel free to check it out. Going through binge eating made me realize something important. 6% body fat, sharp abs, and a defined jawline looks great, but it didn't feel great. It cost me a lot mentally and physically. I was exhausted, always hungry, and constantly thinking about my next meal. I realized that staying at 6% body fat wasn't realistic for me, and it also wasn't realistic for most people. I loved the way it looked, but I didn't want it to control my life. I didn't want my happiness to depend on the number on the scale or how straight I look in the mirror. I want a balance. I want to enjoy food without guilt. I want to live my life without constantly worrying about my body fat percentage. I'm not saying the journey wasn't worth it. It taught me discipline, focus, and mental toughness. It showed me what I was capable of. If I could go back, I would still choose to compete. But if I ever compete again, I will do it with a different mindset. I will focus on the journey, not just the end result. But here's a reminder, if you want to reach single-digit body fat, you need to prepare yourself. It's not just about diet and exercise, it's a mental battle. So now I don't stay at 6% body fat, and that's okay, I may compete again, but next time I will find a better balance. Enjoying the journey was the most important lesson I learned, and there's more lesson I learned from years of training. If you want to know more about how training changed my life, how I went from one of the worst secondary school in Hong Kong to the best university in Hong Kong, check out my video here and I will see you there.